Yo, what is up YouTube? It's Sync Sports Bets here, and in today's video, I got two player props for the Thursday Night Football NFL Week 10 game. It is the Baltimore Ravens versus the Cincinnati Bengals, a very solid divisional matchup here. Before we get into these picks, let's go to the NFL spreadsheet for Week 9. Sunday's picks, we had four picks. To start it off, we had Rico Dowdle over 15.5 receiving yards. Dak Prescott threw to him for about 11 yards through the first three quarters, and then he got hurt. Cooper Rush came in the game and dumped off to him very easily in the fourth quarter, and he had around 30, 32-ish yards to end the game, so easy pick there. And then Gardner Minshew, we chose him under 234.5 pass and rush yards. He actually played atrocious and got benched in the fourth quarter for Desmond Ridder. So easy pick there as well. DeAndre Swift, he actually was playing such a pretty good game. Even though Caleb Williams had another garbage game, I really thought they were going to bounce back. But DeAndre Swift, he had around 82 rush and receiving yards. We needed 91. And what happened was in the third quarter, he had 1 yard of rush and receiving total. And that really ruined us because we needed those chunk plays throughout the game and just couldn't get that in the third quarter. We had a chance to do it in the fourth quarter, but they chose to run it with Roschon Johnson, the backup running back. And DeAndre Swift lost that chance there. So very unfortunate. And then Sam Darnold, we took him under 32 pass attempts. He played in Sunday Night Football and against the Colts. He had 34 pass attempts, so it was a good pick. I mean, he was being bumped down continually. I think right before game time, he was bumped down to 31.5 pass attempts. So people were betting the under. They knew he doesn't need to throw that much, especially versus the Colts, which they won this game. But unfortunately, that's not how it went. And he threw for 34. So should have cashed. I was very confident beforehand, but just very lucky with how the game script went for these bottom two picks. But anyway, let's go to our two picks for today. If you guys want to make it easier to find picks for Thursday Night Football, make sure to click on the calendar, go to this game, click apply, and then you can see all of the props for this game. First and foremost, I do agree. Sometimes I don't agree with the popular picks. But Lamar Jackson, he was at like 230, 228, has been bumped up a lot. And 235.5 versus the Bengals defense. I think this is pretty easy. He hasn't been running that much. So I like this pick here as he has been cashing out the last 5 games with an average of 304 passing yards per game. And if you look at 5 weeks ago, he did play Cincinnati, their divisional rival. I don't know if the rivals or not, but they definitely could be. I don't pay too much attention to the AFC, but he did throw for 348 pass yards. And if you guys want to pair it up with Zay Flowers at 61.5, that is a absolute green bean pair there, as he has been averaging over 100 yards the last 5 games. So good pick there. I do not trust Joe Burrow against that Baltimore defense. They're very, very good to hit the over there. So I would honestly pick the under. If you look at 5 weeks ago, I mean, he did hit over at 392, but he has been playing not as well lately. I mean, versus Cleveland's defense, he had 181, 250 versus Las Vegas. I know that he didn't need to throw that much, but it's going to be tight. I feel like 270 is really high for any quarterback. So that's why I'm not taking that. So I like Lamar Jackson. Let's go to his outlier to see his stats. Okay, so Lamar Jackson has hit over the last 8 of 10 games. It's an 80% hit rate. And as you can see, passing yards allowed, Bengals are ranked number 17. So that's towards the bottom half of the league. And then if you scroll down here, pass rate is 48% because Lamar Jackson loves to run the ball, as well as Derrick Henry, obviously. They just got a very stout receiver in Deontay Johnson, which needs to get more of the game script going. He needs to get more of the plays in. But once he gets that, he's going to be a stout wide receiver for this team. So they got him. They got Zay Flowers. They got Likely. I think Likely's out for this game. So Mark Andrews will be getting a lot of production, which he's very solid at. You got Bateman, who, can catch some big time plays. Justice Hill is always a good receiving back. And then Nelson Aguilar is like just one of those guys that will catch long bombs. But other than that, like very stout wide receiving core here, especially Zay Flowers that he will throw to. So I like this hit rate, and I like that he did hit head to head all 3 games versus Cincinnati, dating back to last year. So solid pick here. Definitely go with Lamar Jackson. And then our second pick of the day for Bengals pick, I personally like Chase Brown. He is starting ahead of Zach Moss because he's hurt. And he actually killed it last week in his first start of the season with 120 rush yards. That is double his line right now. Obviously, Baltimore's defense is way leagues higher than Las Vegas is, but I still think he can get the job done with the Bengals offensive line. Their offense is very elite overall. And I think he's going to be a really good play here, as he has been close to hitting this line, being the backup running back through these other 4 weeks. So let's go to Outlier to see his stats. Okay, so looking at Chase Brown, this obviously is a risky pick because Ravens defense is ranked number 1 in rush yards allowed, but just because he will be getting like 80% of the workload with Zach Moss out, I really love this pick here and just how well he's been playing when he's starting. So let's go to his rush attempts. As you guys can see, he had 27 rush attempts last week. That is way more than double what he usually gets. If you look at last time they played, he only had 12 carries, and he had around 48 rush yards. So imagine if he had way more carries than that. And this game was also in overtime. So he will be getting plenty of more carries versus Baltimore's defense. I think 60 yards is very manageable for Chase Brown due to if he can get this many rush attempts. Obviously, this game was a blowout, so he did get quite a few more, but if he can get at least 18 to 20 rush attempts, I think this is a solid pick for Chase Brown. So, if you guys like these picks, man, make sure to tail. Make sure to put some money down. If you guys also want to see a different pick with Chase Brown, this is something I'm kind of dicey about, but his receiving yards line is also the same. Obviously, these are super low, but he did have 37 yards last week. So you can mix and mingle what you like to do. I mean, his touchdown line is also great too. So Chase Brown just always a good option with the Bengals. Really love him as a player. I mean, rushing rec yards are also a good pick. So pick what you like, but I'm personally going to take his rush yards. I also could probably see Joe Burrow. He could have a good game, but 270 is way too high for him. Obviously, he threw for 350 versus the Ravens last time they played, but I don't know if that's going to be always the case. So that's why I don't want to pick Joe Burrow or any of his wide receivers. So I'm going with that. These are the 2 picks I'm most confident for Thursday Night Football. Make sure to let me know if you guys are tailing down in the comments. Make sure to like this video to get the algorithm out to as many people as possible. Subscribe, turn on those notifications, and you guys have a good night. We'll see you in the next video for Saturday's video picks for college football, and then we'll have video picks for Sunday as well for NFL. So that is the schedule for the week, and hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.